What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I know I'm usually working on the car, but today I'm going to teach you guys how to build a wall. Not just any wall. This wall is going to be with one door and one window, so you kind of get a feel for everything you need to do as far as framing. This wall could be anything for a house or a shed. It's the same principle. I'm going to be explaining to you what you need to build a wall as far as supplies. And then my buddy Tucker is going to explain layout to you guys, and then we're just going to build it for you. I'm not going to talk about what every stud's purpose is as far as the situation, but moreover where every stud is going to be located and the names. So first of all, I wanted to start with the trimmer. That's going to be inside of our window or our door. And then adjacent to that is our king stud. And then right above the headers, so we have two headers above the door. And then the window, we're gonna have our cripples, and we're gonna go more into detail on that when we talk about layout, but the cripples basically just follow layout. And then, so I talked about our headers, and then we have our window seal. That's kind of just how big we want the window, and on the bottom for support, cripple again here, and that's just following layout. And then we have our top plate, and then we have our bottom plate. What's important to remember about our bottom plate is if you're building on top of concrete, there will be moisture over time and you're gonna want it treated. This only pertains to if you are building a wall on top of concrete. So if you are doing like a second floor of a house or a shed or whatever it may be, you don't need to have it treated wood. So that's basically everything you need and where everything goes as far as the studs. And then I made a list of what we need to buy, and then we went to Home Depot and bought it. So we got 18 2x4 studs, and then we got two 2x6s for the headers. And then as well as that, you're gonna want some framing nails. As far as tools, you're gonna want a hammer, a straight edge, a tape measure, and a pencil to do all your markings for layout, and then just a hammer for the nails. And that's everything that you need to build a wall. And then my buddy here is gonna explain everything you need to know about layout.
So when we're framing the wall, first thing we want to do is we want to get our top plate and our bottom plate and mark out where all of our studs are gonna go. So the first thing we're gonna do is get your measuring tape, lay it out on one of your studs after you've set them up side by side. And we want a stud every 16 inches, but we're gonna pull back 3/4 of an inch because you have to keep in mind, once this wall's up, we're gonna put plywood sheets on there, and the plywood sheets have to meet and kind of converge on a stud, so we have to leave room for both of them on there. So yeah, keeping that in mind, you just lay your measuring tape out, and as you can see, I've got mark here at 16 inches, but pulled back a little. Got our king stud and our trimmer, because this is where our window's going. Next one, this is the cripple. Got our trimmer and our king stud again, regular stud. And over here where the door is going to be, got a king stud, trimmer, another cripple, and then at the end of the wall, our last 3 studs. And yeah, then we'll just flip the boards over flat, translate the lines over to the other side, and put the wall together basically.
Okay, so now that we have our king studs and trimmers laid out, we want to find out how high we want like our window to be. So we need 2 measurements. We need the base measurement where it starts, and then the top plate where it ends. For our door, it's just gonna go to the floor, and then we just want to know how high, how tall we want our door to be. All right, so you see we figured out how tall we want our window. Place it right here. It's 50 inches up, and then the height bar will go right there. And then you can see the floor, the trimmer, it just goes up and just follows that line. But we cut it right here so we can fit the window seal at the top of it. And this is our doorway right here. So we decided how big we wanted our door. And like I said before, when you're working on a house or like a shed, you kind of want to decide how big you want your door before you build it, as well as like actual door sizing, so it'll fit good. But this is just a model. So we have our size, we have our trimmer that goes up, the braids, and the trimmer that goes on top. So basically all we need to do now is just the cripples. So we have a cripple right there, and cripples, like we said before, are just going to follow layout. So we're going to have cripple there, and then a cripple down here, and then one right there. And then I'll just show you that when we have those in place.
So wall's done. As you can see, we've got our cripples cut and put in place, and that's pretty much it. As of right now, this wall's ready to go up and be put in place wherever it's going to go in the house. Put the sheeting on, put the sheetrock on, and yeah, that's it for framing. But